So here today we are going to demonstrate some inhibition and some lengthening techniques. And this is my client, Doug. We are going to start today by doing some self-myofascial release for the latissimus dorsi. And then we are going to do some myofascial release plus some lengthening techniques for the hamstring. So we're going to start Doug with some myofascial release for his lats. He's already indicated that he has some discomfort in this area, so we are going to use a foam roller, but we are going to use a softer foam roller so that we can build up to some intensity and reduce his discomfort. So what I'm going to ask Doug to do is come down onto his side. We're going to take the roller and we're just going to begin just underneath the armpit, beneath the shoulder joint. And then just come up onto the hips slightly, and we're just going to take the foam roller and roll down the length of the muscle, and then gently roll back. And what's happening along the way is we're looking for points of tenderness or tension. And once we find those spots, I'm going to ask Doug to just hold that position for about 30 seconds. So if you want to give it a try, Doug. So we'll get you to lie on your side. Okay. Beginning just with the roller just beneath the armpits. Okay. And then just getting them to slowly roll down the full length of the muscle. And then just slowly back up. So Doug, once you find a point of tenderness, all you do is just hold there. Did you find one right there?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to hold that for about 30 seconds. If it's at a maximum pain threshold. If it's only just a little bit uncomfortable, we can have them hold it for a little bit longer, a little bit closer to 90 seconds. But here, 30 seconds will probably be enough, because I know that this particular exercise causes a fair amount of discomfort. Once the 30 seconds is complete, we're going to have Doug continue to roll a little bit, searching out for any other areas of tenderness. So you can go ahead and do that, Doug. Right. So as you can see, it's a little bit uncomfortable for him, right? But again, just staying on those tender points for about 30 seconds, trying to get the client to relax as much as possible. Right? His belly is drawn in, right? The rest of his body is fairly relaxed, and we want to make sure that he continues to breathe. Once we're done with the one side, we would go ahead and do the other side as well. You can come on up, Doug. Thank you. Right. So the next muscle group we're going to work with are Doug's hamstrings. So we're actually going to take a little bit of a firmer foam roll for this. Okay? And once again, what we want to do is when we target a muscle group, we want to roll down the entire line of the muscle group without crossing the joint. So what we'll do is actually begin with the foam roll just underneath the glute area, okay? And then just slowly roll just to above the knee, and then return. Now, we can intensify this should Doug need by just taking one leg on top of the other, working with one hamstring at a time, and creating additional pressure on the single leg. Once again, we're going to have him roll until he finds a point of tension, and then just have him hold that. Right? So come on over, Doug, we'll give it a try. Now it's really important here as Doug begins that he keeps his abdominals tight. Here we want him to relax the shoulder. We want to have him to have a good strong posture. And this is a good exercise for him because he does not have any wrist or shoulder issues, so he feels comfortable holding his body up in this position. So once again, we'll just get him to roll slowly back. And we'll start him on two hamstrings. And then slowly back the other direction. And once again, we're just looking for points of tenderness or discomfort. The other thing we can do with Doug when he's working on both legs is we can actually get him to change his foot position so that if he turns his feet inward or outward, it will actually target slightly different areas of the hamstring. Any kind of point of tension?
No.
Okay. So again, as he's holding this for about 30 seconds, we want to make sure that we're encouraging him to breathe, and that we're trying to get him to relax through the rest of his body. Okay. What we're looking for is that he feels a release in the area, and then he's able to move on to the next section. do you want to try the single leg side? So again, if we want, we can get him to stack one leg on top of the other. And what that'll do is just bring a little bit of extra body weight and tension into the single side. Once again, we want to move slowly down the full length of the muscle just towards the top of the knee, searching for areas of discomfort. And again, if he finds any, just pausing on those moments or on those positions for 30 seconds up to 90 seconds until he feels a release. Terrific. So self-myofascial release is a great inhibitory treatment for tight muscles. A great progression from that now is to look at lengthening the muscles. So what we'll actually do is get Doug to come off of the foam roller, and we're going to get him to move into a static stretch for his hamstring. So I'm going to get him to lie down on his back. Perfect. Bending both knees. Once again, as always, just drawing in the belly for a little bit of support for the back, relaxing through the shoulders. I'm going to ask him to bring one knee towards his chest, hold on to the back of his thigh, and then extend the leg upward. Okay. Now here, if he relaxes his foot, it actually takes some of the tension out of the calf and allows the work to remain in the hamstring. Ideally, what we'd like to have is for the tailbone to draw downward towards the floor and for everything else in the body to relax. Once again, we're looking to hold this static stretch for between 20 and 30 seconds. Again, if we find any shaking in the muscle whatsoever, we're just going to ask Doug just to pull back a little bit and then to continue to breathe through the motion. Beautiful. And then this is a stretch that he can do on his own. And again, a beautiful complement to that myofascial release that we did with the foam roller. I'll ask you to release. In addition to that, we've got another type of stretching, neuromuscular stretching that we can do. We can do it either partner-assisted or Doug can do it on his own. We're going to demonstrate the partner-assisted exercise. It's going to look very similar to the exercise or the stretch that we just did. So I'm going to get Doug to lift up his leg. Right? Again, tailbone moving down, a little soft bend in the knee. I'm going to place Doug's calf on my shoulder, and I'm just going to move him towards a point of tension. Right? So it's really important that we're communicating so that he can let me know where that point of tension is. Right? So Doug, just let me know when this starts to feel just a little bit uncomfortable. Let me know when it feels uncomfortable.
Okay.
Still good? Okay. Perfect. So from this position now, if this is the tight point of his hamstring, what I'm going to ask him to do is actually push his leg into my shoulder for a count of about 7 to 10 seconds. So go ahead and do that. Push against me. Push, push, push. Right? And just at about 50% intensity. So it's not as hard as he can, but about 50% intensity. And then I'm going to ask him to release. And then I'm going to attempt to find a new point of tension in his hamstring. Once again, I'm going to communicate with him, ask him where he starts to feel that point of tension right there. And then we're going to repeat it again. So once again, Doug, pressing your leg into my shoulder, about 50% intensity. Again, so we're engaging the hamstring muscle. And then release. And then again, we're going to look for a point of new tension. Once again, making sure that he's keeping his abdominals tight and hip bone close to the ground. Good. And we would repeat that 3 times to increase the flexibility of his hamstrings. So that was our demonstration of some myofascial release, both for the latissimus dorsi and for the hamstring muscles, and in addition, some lengthening techniques for the hamstring muscle. Thanks, man.